Hey, welcome back to the grand finale of Architects of Soul. I am Max Soul.
And I'm Mello Soul. After 25 episodes, we're now focusing on the cultural contract.
Damn straight.
The enduring social and economic impact of these architects.
And they definitely had an incredible impact on us.
Absolutely. And their struggles for creative freedom and fair compensation are the most valuable lessons they left us.
Oh, totally true, Mello. We're looking at how the careers of Marvin Gaye, James Brown, and Wilson Pickett transformed the artist from entertainer to activist and entrepreneur. And their fight is the same fight every independent artist faces today.
This is the ultimate wrap-up, taking the wisdom of the greats to create a sustainable, powerful, and authentic career in today's complex music scene. It's about power, message, and legacy.
That's right. But before we dig in, we're going to take a short break. You're listening to Max and Mello's Architects of Soul.
And we'll be right back, so don't go anywhere.
Yeah.
Welcome back, Soul fam. You're listening to Max and Mello's Architects of Soul, and we bet you know what's coming.
Oh, bet they do, Mello. Hey, Soul fam. If you like this content, please take a moment to give a like and subscribe to our channel. Your support keeps these stories alive. And remember, there is a video version of the podcast on our YouTube page.
Yes, so if you feel like watching some of this content instead of just listening,
Hell yeah.
you can.
That's right.
Okay, Max. The most powerful lesson in the artist's role in society, soul music became the soundtrack to empowerment.
Indeed it did.
So we're picking up from part 1 and on to lesson 7.
Lesson 7. Use your platform for truth. Well, Curtis Mayfield consistently addressed social issues, making his music a living document of the struggle, Mello. And Marvin Gaye, well, we know he risked his career to talk about war and poverty.
He sure did, Max. His record, What's Going On, Marvin believed so strongly in his vision, his voice, and in the message of this landmark statement, so resolute in pursuit of that, he was willing to risk his career.
And as we know, that album almost never saw the light of day, right? Marvin had to fight tooth and nail for its release. Barry Gordy hated What's Going On. Too political, too preachy, and it won't sell, he said. He wanted Marvin to stick to his established hit-making formula. Of course he did. He wanted to make more money.
He wanted more money,
You better
exactly.
believe it. But Marvin, for the first time, Mello, he refused to compromise. He essentially went on strike, refusing to release any more music until he was given full creative authority over his work. That's some ballsy shit.
Oh, yes, and he believed so strongly in his vision, Max. In the message of What's Going On, he was refusing Barry Gordy,
That's
the
a
Barry
big,
Gordy,
right,
exactly,
Barry Gordy,
who ran Motown with an iron fist and ruled the ship like Bogart's character in the Caine Mutiny.
Yeah, give me the strawberries. Where are the strawberries? But basically, Barry was not used to hearing no from his artists. Hear that?
Indeed, he was not.
Used to hearing no from his artists. Can you imagine?
Exactly. So this was truly unprecedented at Motown. Artists were pretty much under very strict control with producers.
Oh, yes.
And the label dictating everything from song choice to arrangements.
You're so right, Mel. It's true. Barry wasn't letting his guys play with anybody else. And since he was the big game in town, well, he held sway, and everybody pretty much listened and did just what he said. So Marvin Gaye's stand was a seismic event. I mean, he believed so strongly in his vision, in the message of what's going on, that he was willing to risk his career. And ultimately, he did win. Barry Gordy relented, and the album was released, becoming an instant critical and commercial success. Big surprise, huh?
Exactly. Beyond Barry's wildest dreams, I'll bet.
I'll bet.
And let's not forget Sam Cooke's Change Is Gonna Come, saying it covertly, but saying it nonetheless.
Yeah, that was amazing to be able to slip that message in without nobody knowing it.
This also teaches today's artists that the most resonant music often speaks to universal truths beyond romance.
That's so true, Mello. Striking a chord as music so wonderfully does, and making a resonant message that speaks to people's lives. Not that there's anything wrong with a good love song, as we think,
right?
But we know people consume music for so many reasons, so many different reasons. As long as it speaks to a truth that resonates within, well, you'll connect.
Which brings us to lesson 8, the power of identity. Aretha Franklin's Respect turned a simple song into a massive cultural demand.
That's right, and Nina Simone's defiance in her music and performance was an act of radical self-acceptance.
Isaac Hayes heard something and followed his gut and became immediately identifiable, especially after Shaft came out.
Same with Barry White, his voice instantly identifiable.
Oh, yeah.
This is the foundation for all modern artists who use their music to explore and affirm their identity.
Exactly, Max. Here we have multiple examples of artists defining their ethos being used, and the winner is...
Dun, dun, dun.
Thank you, Max. The winner is Cross-pollination / expansion.
Oh, God, exactly, Mel. Let's take Sam Cooke, for instance. We
Yes.
love cross-pollination.
Yes.
It's so amazing.
Sam Cooke is a good place to start, too.
He's a great place to start.
The transition of Sam Cooke's work illustrates the growing necessity of this lesson. His early artistry paved the way for pop success, but his later realization that the music needed to reflect the social turbulence gave us a change is going to come. This teaches us that artists must constantly evolve their messaging to stay relevant to their community. Bobby Womack also carried this torch.
He certainly did.
Blending raw emotion with street-savvy narratives of survival.
It's very true, Mello. And Jerry Butler and Otis Redding sat in a hotel room and played each other songs and ideas they hadn't finished. Otis hears the unfinished "I've Been Loving You Too Long" that Jerry didn't know where to go with. And he said, I like this, let me take it with me. And next time Jerry heard the song, it was on the radio and became a classic.
Cross-pollination.
Exactly.
Finding a connection in a place that you least expected and accepting that gift.
It is a very beautiful thing.
Yeah. Not everyone understands that there's a connection between everything if you're open to looking for it and willing to receive it. Music is universal, man.
It sure is, Mello. In a crowded space, the artists who last are those who stand for something. The Architects showed us that conviction sells better than compromise. And with that thought, we're going to take a break.
And when we come back, we'll talk about the business side. You're listening to Max and Mello's Architects of Soul.
And we'll be right back. Welcome back. You're listening to Max and Mello's Architects of Soul. And we're diving into the entrepreneurial lesson, the fight for creative and economic independence.
Exactly, Max. We actually have numerous artists that have shown incredible entrepreneurial savvy.
No doubt.
This lesson comes straight from James Brown. He wasn't just the godfather of soul, he was the CEO of funk. His uncompromising control over his performances, production, and publishing is the blueprint for artist independence.
Oh, no doubt. And don't forget about Etta James getting the master discs to her songs. Now, that is artist independence. As tough as it was for some of these architects, the great thing is they laid out these ground rules for themselves, for their gigs, for the ones that they take and the ones that they don't. And as we know, Aretha was famous for not playing any place that didn't sell enough tickets to pay her fee, which, by the way, she got before she went on. Hence, Aretha Franklin live at Fillmore West, possibly one of the best live soul and R&B records ever released. All because Aretha was in charge and was not going to be used, empowering and enriching and, of course, fucking brilliant.
And we have not even gotten to Ray Charles yet. It'll be the first of our second season. Also, he had to be paid before he went on to, or he wasn't going on.
Oh, no. Ray, he most definitely called the shots.
Yeah.
I saw that firsthand when he came to the Apollo. We were doing a big thing for New Jersey Public Television with B.B. King and Ray Charles. Both bands were going to play a double bill, and we were going to record it, and it would be a TV show and a record. In fact, the B.B. King side came out as B.B. King Live at the Apollo. He won a Grammy. But Ray Charles had some money issues, and Ray wasn't having that shit. So what he did was tell us all that we had to turn all our cameras right to the wall and make sure that nothing was on, because if he saw a camera pointed at him, he was leaving. And let me tell you something, the theater, the audience was not having that. So Ray stayed, Ray played, but no one got to see it. That guy was in control.
And while we're talking artist independence, let's mention Bobby Womack.
Oh, of course.
Staying true to who he was.
Oh, without a doubt. Maintaining his independence and proving it.
That's right. The industry wanted him to pivot, Max, and get sleek and follow the trends.
Yeah, but he wasn't having that.
No, because in 1981, he came back with the album The Poet and the signature song, If You Think You're Lonely Now. I remember that, actually.
Yeah, it was a badass tune.
Yeah, it was a massive hit, and precisely because it was an old school soul record.
Yeah, the thing they told him he shouldn't have done.
This is exactly what he actually had to do to just sort of reestablish himself.
Yeah.
It was raw, honest, and didn't compromise to the trends of the time.
Correct. No, his commitment to authentic, gritty soul showed that his truth resonated even when it went against the trend. Now that screams identity all over, thus leading us to lesson 9, be the CEO. I mean, let's look at two more of our architects, Isaac Hayes and Jerry Butler. Those two are key examples of moving from session players or singers to self-producers and label owners. They prove that the artist must be the driving force behind the business.
Indeed, Max. Leading us sliding into lesson 10.
Oh, he's safe.
The most important tenet, and you'll hear us say it every time.
Oh, you better believe it.
Protect your intellectual property.
Damn straight. Protect your masters. It is your art. The entire story of Stax and Atlantic is filled with lessons about publishing, masters, and contracts, and a magnificent example of cross-pollination conceived by Jerry Wexler. Change the scenery, change the cats, change the environment.
For every emerging R&B artist today, the fight is still the same. Understand your deal.
Hell yeah.
Learn from the past to protect your future. It's no joke.
No,
Okay.
it's true, Mello. Those who do not learn from history are doomed to repeat it. So if you think banging your head against the wall is going to work, well, the only thing you can do is hurt your head. Look at the messages we get from these groundbreaking artists, producers, musicians, and engineers. It's cross-pollination and real expansion. The entire Atlantic Records story is a masterclass in this. They leveraged the regional studio talent, but in the end, fought fiercely over the masters. Big lesson right there. And what does it teach us?
Well, this teaches us that the business fight is just as important as the musical fight, man.
Hell yes, Mello.
I mean, look at Al Green's later move toward fully independent gospel recordings, which underscores the personal cost of the industry struggle and the pursuit of the market, where the artist felt more creatively and ethically sound.
For Reverend Al, he had to have it his way. And on the other side of that, Bill Withers, he decided to leave the business when he couldn't get anybody to understand what it was he was about at Columbia. And they tried to make him into completely something else, A&R. We talked about that, which, of course, he wasn't. His integrity to who he was as an artist is an amazing example of being smarter and walking away with your head held high as opposed to getting over and taking what the label is giving you, which typically sounds like the name of an Isaac Hayes song that was the theme from a movie. The technical brilliance of these artists was truly matched by their street smarts.
Oh, that is a definite, Max. That balance, artistic excellence combined with business acumen is what defines a true architect.
No doubt.
Pushing the boundaries, pushing the dynamic, and changing the old ways into new and better ways, and never not being true to who they were.
And that truly takes belief, doesn't it, Mello? Not only to know that your music is exactly what it needs to be, but understanding how the business works so that you can get people to see how your music is supposed to be. Now, there's the trick.
Yeah, Max. We see tons of examples of all of these things. When we come back from our break, we're going to head into the final lesson.
Right, so don't go anywhere. Stay with us for the final lesson on influence. You're listening to Max and Mello's Architects of Soul.
Bet. Don't go anywhere.
Thanks for tuning in to Architects of Soul. Our music is waiting for you.
Welcome back. You're listening to Max and Mello's Architects of Soul. And if you like this content, we'd be most grateful if you give us a like and subscribe and maybe a comment.
Oh, we'd love that.
Also, we have a video version of each podcast on our YouTube page if you feel like watching some extra content instead of just listening.
Yes, we truly appreciate that. And it truly helps keep our soul fire burning.
So, Max, as we reach the final segment, let's look at the ultimate proof of their genius, their eternal influence on us and our peers today.
That's so true, Mello. Every modern soul, R&B, and hip-hop artist is standing on the shoulders of these giants. The grooves of Funk Brothers and James Brown, well, they're the DNA of modern production. Which brings us to lesson 11, storytelling simplicity.
Yes, Max. The genius of Bill Withers and Sam Cooke lies in their powerful simplicity. They teach us modern artists to focus on clear, emotionally resonant narratives rather than overcomplicating the sound.
That's right, Mello. They teach us that what sometimes is most important is not what you play, it's what you don't play, or more likely, where you don't play. James Brown taught us about the simplicity of the one, and funk was born. You know, we haven't gotten to this yet. It'll be episode 4, I think, of the second season coming up. We're going to talk about Bootsy Collins and how Bootsy, when he first got into James Brown's band, because James Brown, Bootsy, and his brother played in this band, right? Mm-hmm. And Bootsy was overplaying, and James would literally stand in front of him, trying to get him to understand where the one was. And now everybody knows how Bootsy's like, Bootsy baby, I'm Bootsy baby. There's the one. Got to focus on the one. It's exactly right. Yeah. And that's where it came from. Sometimes the power of simplicity is overpowering, and I mean that in a good way. That being said, well, looks like we're moving on to lesson 12.
Yes, Max, it's time for lesson 12, which is genre fluidity.
Da, da, da.
Let's look at the careers of Bobby Womack and Isaac Hayes and show that fearless fusion is the path forward.
Yeah, I love that fearless fusion. That's some badass.
This gives permission to today's artists to blend R&B, trap, Afro beats, and jazz without hesitation.
And we love this shit. It's called cross-pollination. Mm-hmm. And this thing, it just sticks its nose in the tent, but it's true. The longevity of this sound is its greatest lesson. Just as the raw power of Otis Redding and the sophistication of Smokey Robinson still serve as the twin poles of the genre, the way artists like Amy Winehouse reference Dinah Washington and Nina Simone show that authenticity today is often found in referencing the past to create a revolutionary new sound, which we truly love because that's what we want to do. This is the true new vibe, the conscious blending of the grit of the past with the tech of the present, which is truly what we are all about.
100%, Max. The influence of their rhythm, the emotion, the conviction, it all comes back to the foundation laid by these 25 amazing artists.
That's right. And before we conclude, remember, if you're enjoying this content, please give us a like and subscribe to our channel.
We would most appreciate it. You're listening to Max and Mello's Architects of Soul.
Yeah, stick around. We'll be right back to put a cap on this episode. Hey, welcome back. You're listening to Max and Mello's Architects of Soul. Well, this is our final segment for this season, Mello. The final lesson is that the Architects of Soul weren't just singers or instrumentalists. They were revolutionaries who left us a blueprint for living, creating, and succeeding.
Their legacy is a roadmap for every aspiring artist, demanding truth, cultivating genius, and fighting for independence. That's the true new vibe.
Oh, it's truly a new vibe. And we have had such a great time geeking out on all of this stuff and seeing how the strings have connected themselves. Mm-hmm. And all these artists, how they're all from different places, but they all have the same concept. They all are strong and they believe in what they're doing and they care about the message.
And how they're just remaining themselves and knowing who they are.
Yet they never lose sight of who they want to be.
And that's how they all have stood out as individuals and as unique talents unto themselves because
and they show
didn't
up,
compromise.
Right, and they show up with each other. Mm-hmm. And you see the strings that send them to each other, that creates something else that manifests itself into a new creation, which is where we come from.
And speaking of the strings, thanks to you mostly, the threads or the strings that connect all these artists to each other and to the same producers
I told you.
Who have worked with most of the same artists.
It's true.
And a lot of the engineers who recorded those artists. It's fascinating to me how many times Tom, and I haven't seen them all, but how many times Tom Dowd's name came up, for example, as an engineer.
Oh, yeah.
On all range of other artists' work.
The great part about this is that because music is so universal, again, with the 12 tones, the thing we were talking about, it doesn't matter how you play them as long as you play them. And cross-pollination, it's only 12 notes. You can play them any way you want, and because you can bring them in, these strings attach each other, and someone will bring you something, just like, you know, Otis taking Jerry Butler, you know, and saying, I'm going to take this, and the next thing you know, right, and next thing you know, it's on the radio. This
and as a hit.
As a hit. It's a huge hit, and became a song that's pivotal in our lives. So this is the gift. This is the greatest thing that we have, is this knowledge and passing this on, because it teaches us, and through us, others learn. And as they learn, they pass it on. And then this message just keeps going. So we're truly honored to have shared this journey with all of you. And so, as always, we'd like to leave you with our final thought and our hope for all of us, our art, our craft, and our creations. And we really, truly hope that you'll take it to heart.
Keep that soul fire burning, protect your sound, nurture your creativity, own your voice, and remember the lessons from the giants who came before.
And yes, protect your masters and seek out wise mentors who can guide you on your journey. And until next we meet, peace and soul, y'all.